Now, if you've watched this show before, you know these are colors I am, I'm not Miss Pink person. Okay, here comes a good one. Something unexpected in the shadows. I like to put unexpected things everywhere. I don't know, you ever remember being a kid and playing with the shadows on the wall and doing little birds? Hi, welcome to Give Your Wall Some Soul. I'm Shannon Grissom. Well, today we just had to do a golf scene. I met this guy, Brian Husted. He's an artist. I met him over the internet. And he's in the armed services for the United States, and he's deployed overseas. And he said, God, I love your golf paintings. Could you do a golf painting for me? Well, gosh, the guy's been downloading. He can't get the shows where he's at, so he's been downloading them over the internet. And so I thought, you know what? I am dedicating this show to Brian Husted. He's serving our country, and I'm going to be painting the bunker at the 18th hole at San Juan Oaks. And this one's for you, Brian. So, the interesting thing about doing these golf paintings, I did a whole series, one of each hole at San Juan Oaks Golf Course. And I started to take pictures at the men's tees. And if you've played the course before, and I always play from the women's tees or the red tees, and so it's a totally different perspective. It almost looked like a different course to me because you had different vantage point. But one thing, I don't care whether you start from the red tees or the white tees or you're just sitting in the cart. If you're stuck in the bunker, you are stuck in the bunker. So I'm going to show you how to paint one, and we're going to talk about how to get out of one too. So where do you start here? Well, let's just whip out some sky. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take some white. Just how do you whip out some sky? Okay, there's some white. And it was a pretty mellow day there. I'm going to get some of this really high quality wiping material. And I'm going to grab a little bit. It's going to be a good show, I can't tell you. It's a good thing I don't drink, or it would really be over the top. Okay. There are times when the cameraman can do things, and I just, I can be deadpan and professional, but today's not one of them. Okay, so I'm blaming it on them. Here's some phthalo turquoise, which I love this color. It's awesome. It's like a mellow blue day out at San Juan Oaks. I love how they answer the phone. They always say, it's a beautiful day at San Juan Oaks. And you know what? It really is out there. All right, so here's some initial sky color. We whipped that out. I'm going to take some medium and a brush, start basing it in. And I'm going to do almost a solid color, I think. Pert near. So here's some over here. Scrubbing it in the canvas. Wow, got some purple on the canvas on the way over here. Things happen. Hey, I found out, I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but anyway, I found out that OxyClean gets oil paint off. I have it all over my car seats from transporting paintings all over the place. And I sprayed OxyClean on it. And no, they're not paying me anything. But it works. It gets paint out. I mean, this paint had been there for a long time. Pretty cool, huh? And it works. So then I had to try it on my everything else because I have paint everywhere, on clothes, on, it works pretty good on clothes. Some things are stubborn though. Okay, so I'm basing in the sky. We really are going to talk about painting, sort of. I'm going to take this all the way to the top. This is a different format for me. It's long and narrow. So my main challenge here is to not be in your way while I'm painting it. It's also kind of a tiny painting. Although I've been working on a series of miniatures. They're actually small pieces because I'm not using little tiny brushes. They're 5 by 7. I'm using fairly large brushes, but I did a whole series, one of each hole of San Juan Oaks. When you work in a series like that, you really get to know the subject. And I think toward the end of the whole experience, I'm going to really know the course by the time I'm through. All right, so I based that in, but I didn't go all the way down. I'm going to grab some white for the bottom. It's a little lighter on the horizon. And I'm just with a dirty brush. I will base that in. So I'm brush mixing on the canvas. One thing about doing these tiny paintings, these 5 by 7 little gems, it helped me not do any detail work. And so I'm going to paint this one that loose too. And you know what? This is huge that I'm painting a landscape, especially me painting a landscape on TV. There was a time early on when I first started painting that a publisher of a national magazine said that they love my still lifes, they love my portraits, and that I should never paint a landscape. And you know what? That totally broke my heart. And I was just started painting, and I really believed them. And so I had this fear of landscapes. I mean, with a capital F. And so I didn't paint very many, but then, well, you know, I did it anyway, and I still feel insecure about them. But I have to tell you, they're one of my favorite things to do now, and they sell really well. And so my point in the whole thing is people will break your heart about your work, and you will hear some nasty comments. But if you really love a subject, do it anyway. She's not the publisher of the magazine anymore either. It's a good thing. Oh, and the cool thing is that I ended up later with one of my paintings on the cover of their magazine. How cool is that? That was awesome. I forgot about that. That was good. Go with your heart. Okay, so we based in the sky. Wasn't kidding about whipping that out quickly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of dark right at the top, and just kind of work wet onto wet so that you get a little bit of distance there. You know, I love space and distance. So how am I going to do that? Take some, I think some straight ultramarine blue. I'm just going to, I don't need that much. I'm going to take the same dirty brush, but I'm going to wipe it off first. And then I will attack the sky. There we go. Starting at the very top. Move a little bit over here. And I'm not going to put any more paint on my brush. I'm just going to slowly scrub it down so that there's a really mellow transition. You can't really, you know it's there, but it's going to be very subtle. I can be subtle sometimes. Really, I can't. It's almost like I'm blending away half of what I just put down, and it's true, because I'd kind of overdone it. Okay, so now I'm going to get back and see what that looks like. And you know what? I think I need to do a little bit more, just a little bit. Going right over some of the trees, because I don't want the strokes to look like they ran away from there. There. That's enough right now. I won't know whether I need to do more until I fill some of the rest of it. All right, let's block in some trees. And what am I going to do just to get their basic shapes? I'm just going to look at what's light, what's dark, and that's all I'm going to do for the first statement. I'm not going to put in a million branches or leaves or anything like that. So what kind of color do I want to do here? I'm thinking I'm going to grab some sap green. And it's a nice warm green. And a little bit of this phthalo turquoise. That's going to cool it off a little, make a nice dark. It might be a little too much, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Remember, if you have any questions, you can definitely Twitter me, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. I'd love to see your work too, so flash me some links. Okay, so where do I see? Basically, I'm going to look at these shapes and say where's the dark, where's the light, and just scrub that in. Just a little bit of medium, not a lot. And what am I seeing here? Let's start with this tree. There's a little bit, it's always a little darker at the base, so I'm going to start at the base, throw in a little color there. I'm just scribbling. That looks good. A little there. And how about this one? This is just kind of a blob. It's easy to kind of lose your place here. That looks good. Picked up a little sky color. It's so early on, you know, just what the heck. All right, so I'm going to add a little more dark down here. A little more paint on my brush would help. A little there. I'm just trying to see where I'm at. It's easy to lose my place. Kind of dark there. I'm tempted, you know, to make these two the same color, but they're not, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just add some warm green for the light area and move on. So how do I do that? I'll take a little bit of the same green that we had. What am I gonna add to that? I think I'll add a little bit of this green gold because I like it. It's a nice warm color. And I'm going for the warmth because it's in the sun. And add a little white to that. That's pretty. I don't know if it's what I want to use, but it's really pretty. I've been painting all these golf scenes that have very little red in them. And I just finished a whole series of 18 paintings with no red. And my next painting is going to be all red. Totally red. Okay, that's a nice light. I'm just scribbling this over the top here. That works. Are these actual colors that you see out there? I didn't really care. I was going for the harmony in the painting. Colors that I like. You could match the actual colors of the trees that you see out there. Whatever floats your boat, either way is good. For me, I was just going for more subjective color. Okay, I think I need even lighter at the very top, so I'm gonna just go from, I think might go into this sky color and see what happens. I'm mixing paint real early on with some other, well, that didn't work. So what I'm gonna do is wipe my brush, add a little bit of warmth to that, and we'll be good. How did I add some warmth? A little bit of Indian yellow is awesome. I think I need to wipe it even more. That's better. It almost looks the same, but it's not really. Could spend a lot of time on these trees, but really, Brian wanted to learn how to paint bunkers. So we're going for it. Okay, that's kind of cool. I will make this one lighter from the beginning and a little cooler down at the bottom. And this one too. And you know what? Just because, red is opposite of green on the color wheel. So I'm going to add some red in there just to spice it up a little. I think I'll even do pink. I mean, pink. God, that's something I'd never do. You got to do things you'd never do if you want to grow. That's why I love commissions. Because then I explore things that I might not paint. Oh, that was nice. Okay, so we got a little bit of bushes going on here. Let's see, we can just have a little light trees in the background behind the building. It's a beautiful facility. God, I love it out there. Okay, so that's good. That's pretty good. We need to kind of give this a little bit of dark to break that up. And then just stop. I'm going to break this tree up right here too. There. All right. So I got to leave that alone because I could play with the trees all day. And just quickly block in some shapes for the clubhouse here. Throw in a little foliage and then get down to this bunker and some, well, hills and bunker. But we're going to actually do this fairly systematically. At least that's the plan right now. But we're going to start from the top to the bottom. All right, so let's get the roof in. This is one of the few times I am grabbing a squared off brush because it's going to be easier to do something that's geometric. All right, I know that it's a red tile roof, but I got to make it a little lighter than what I would think. If I just put straight red there, it would not look right. So I'm going to grab a little cad red light, some white. I need more paint than that. That's going to be my base. I'm going to put it up here and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to scrub that in. I should grab just a little bit of medium so I can get rid of my pencil marks. All right, so there's a little bit of roof right here over the cart garage. I don't know what the technical name for it is. It's just where we park the carts. Did I ever tell you about the time that the first time I ever went, oh, it's so embarrassing. I went to golf, and I'd never, usually I just go to the clubhouse and I'd get a bucket of balls. Well, I went there and and you didn't get them at the clubhouse, you put your coin in the machine and it's supposed to give you balls. So I go there and I put a bucket down and I'm gonna get like a big bucket because my game needs a lot of work. And so I put the bucket down and I'm already self-conscious because I'm a new golfer, I don't know what I'm doing, and I know everybody knows I don't know what I'm doing. And so I put the money in, and the balls come, and they fill out my bucket, and that's cool. But then they keep coming and coming and coming, and then pretty soon they were everywhere. And oh God, I mean, they were bouncing everywhere. And so the man came over and helped me. He explained that there are different sized buckets, for the amount of balls that you need to get. I knew that. Well, I didn't know that, but he was he was very kind and very patient. Okay, so we got a good start on the roof. Let's see. I'm going to put a little tiny touch right here, so that's awesome. That works. All right. Then we'll put in a little shade. So what's the point in all that bucket story? I still don't know what I'm doing when I'm painting. I have a good foundation. I've studied a lot. I continue to learn. And some days I do things well, and other days things just don't always work. And so you know what? I just keep moving forward, and I get over my bad self and hit the canvas again. Same thing at the golf course. All right, I'm going to put some shadow under the roof. Grab a little purple. I'm going to use that same dirty brush. And I dipped it in a little bit of the sky blue, and then I grab some straight violet, and that's going to be the shadow under here. That's not dark enough. I'm going straight into the blue. I'm not messing around with this. Okay, that's good. A little dark under here too. I'm not going to put in every window. That'll make you tired. And I got to tell you, when you're down here on the grass and you're looking at your shot in the bunker, or you're actually in the bunker, you can't see that anyway. You don't know how many windows there are. You don't even care. You're just trying to get out of there. Okay. Let's I'm going to throw in a base color first of the building and then just slop some windows over the top of that. So let's see, I think a little yellow ochre. White, and something to warm it up. I think Indian yellow would be good. But you know what? That was too much. It was way over the top. I'm not even going to play with that. I'm moving it over and I'm starting again. Some white, a little yellow ochre, and a little cad yellow deep. I mean a little. There, that's better. Okay. Let's get that building put in. There's a little bit here, here, here. I'm getting sucked in the painting. It hasn't happened before. It's usually a little bit later in the show that happens, that I get into alpha mode and forget I'm on TV. Golf does that to you. Golf is the only time where I totally forget where I am at and what I'm doing, and it's very relaxing. Okay. So where does this building go? It goes all the way over here. Throw some of that in there. And little bits, you can see little bits through the trees. Let's see, over here, a little bit right there, maybe a little bit there. I'm not sure what's going on over here, but I'll throw it in. Okay, that works. Now I'm just going to throw in some, there's more building. It goes all the way under this tree, huh? I knew that. There. That makes more sense. And we need some sky under that tree. I keep seeing what I'm missing. Helps me not lose my place. Oops. There. All right. Throwing some little window shapes and we're moving on. I'm going to definitely grab the violet for that. And you know what? That brush isn't going to work. It's too wide, it's too fat, it's too big. I'm not used to working on a canvas this size. Wow, I'm actually going to use a small brush. Tiny, tiny brush. I think my next painting is going to have to be huge. All right, so where do I see dark? Right under here. I'm just going to throw in some windows here. We're suggesting that. Well, I don't even know what that dark shape is. And then I'm just going to throw in some bushes. That will take care of all that. With our limited time that we have, I really want to make sure that we get to the grass. If we have time to play with the rest of it, that's great. But I want to get this blocked in. So now I'll go ahead and put the rest of the greenery in. This comes down like that. And I'm just going to make up whatever I don't see. And we'll make tidy with the building later. Okay, that's a good base. All right, let's get some background hills in. Now I have a decision here to make. In the springtime, these hills are green, really green. In the fall, they're very golden. And I thought about changing the color scheme so that the gold would really shine through. But I'm not going to mess with that today. They'll be green. So I'm going to make them a little bit lighter than everything that's going on here. They're in the distance. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this green here, throw in a little bit of this sky blue, and add a little red. There, the red neutralized it. Let me throw that down and see how that looks. We got this. We got this floor manager, and they give you signals for how far along you are in the show. And he's Italian, and it looked like he was saying something really bad in Italian. I told you it was going to be a different show. Okay. I know, I'm supposed to pretend like I didn't see that. Like, nothing's happening. Okay. All right, we got some nice hills going down there. A little bit of green at the base. That's happy. I don't know. I'm thinking there, with there's certain range. I'm at the point now where I have to wear. I didn't ever wear glasses for painting. In fact, I had a teacher that said that if you needed them once you turn 45 or so, and I'm well past that, that you would need, to not wear them because it helps you see just the big shapes and not the little things. But I got to tell you, you get older than that, You gotta wear them. So for these little tiny paintings that I'm working on, yeah, I definitely wear them. And for the huge, huge paintings, no, I don't need them. And I'm thinking for this size, might be a case of needing them. This is what you learn when you get to be my age. Okay, so I just threw in some hills, and you know what? There needs to be some little trees going on there. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this light building color with a little bit of ochre. And I'm just going to, these are like scraggly, well, they're not scraggly, it's just winter. It's probably not a nice thing to say about those trees. I'm going to push them up. They're little vertical things growing here. They won't be scraggly once spring is over. And there's a little something going on here too. I think there's another tree there. I don't know if I'm going to put that in. Okay. So we've got that background basically in. I think this needs to be a little bit darker over here. And I'm looking at it thinking I'm not that happy with the building color, but I have to leave it alone and just move forward for right now. So let's paint some, okay, so the green, when you finally make it to this hole, this is number 18 hole, it's called Safe Passage. And when you finally make it here, the green is at the very top. Oh, okay, so before you get there, you know, your tee shot, you want to hit it to pretty much in the middle and not, there's two ways you can do it. You can hit it, you know, from the tee and try to hit it over this little ravine and these huge oak trees, you know, like really, really go for it. Or you could play it safe and hit it in the middle, and that way your next shot's going to be set up so that you actually get here. Well, it depends on who I'm with, whether I go for it or not, because I'm not a good golfer yet. So if it really counts and I need to be a productive member of the team, then I play it safe. But if I'm out there by myself, or if it's just a best ball and somebody else just nailed a great one, I'm going to give it a shot. So you know what? It's fun to just go ahead and go for it. And that's the same thing I'm talking about on the paintings. You know, there's times to be safe. When you're painting a commission of somebody's favorite putt, you probably want to play it a little safe. But if you're doing a self-portrait, hey, let it loose. Go for it. Try something different. Okay, so I just threw a little base up there, and now I'm going to put in this green. All right, so we've got the sea, and there's not that much that you can actually see. I'm gonna overdo the color just because I want it to stand out. I want it to be lighter and brighter, and the grass is different up there. So I'm going to go for this totally over the top. This green is really loud, and it's it's a phthalo yellow green. You can mix it or get a close proximity by doing the lemon yellow and the permanent green, but I like this straight out of the tube loudmouth paint. It's great. Gets it done. All right, so let's put this down right here on the edge. Is it too much? Probably right now, but that's all right. I'm putting it down anyway. Let's see, it goes all the way to the edge of the sand. That's the other thing, you know, I start playing golf, and I would call it a sand trap. And oh my God, the people that I was with were mortified. And they said, it is not a sand trap. That is not in the rules of golf. It is a bunker. All I know is, if I'm in the beach, I'm in the beach. And I try to get out of it. Okay, so we have light up here. That's just so wild. This is not my daddy's golf painting, that's for sure. Okay. Over the top. All right, so that's a good, might be a little bit of that. I went a little crazy here with this. I'll put a little over here, and I'm just going to throw in little bits there. And so my next thing is, do I want to work on the sand next and then throw the green in? Because what's going to happen when you get this close is you're going to get in it, or I will, get a little bit muddy. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's just go for it. I'm gonna save the bunker for last. All right. So what do I want to do with this? There's one thing that you don't get a sense of when you're looking at the picture, or at least I didn't, is that you're climbing up. This is a hill. You're climbing up this hill here, and this is way at the top, and even there's a lot of depth in the bunker. So I want the grass. I want it to look like you're climbing up there. So I'm going to push the brush strokes this way. I just smeared the painting. I'm going to push the brush. See, I just added a little interest here with my knuckle, and I'm leaving it. This, there's finger painting, but this is knuckle painting. All right, so I'm going to add interest by throwing the brush strokes that way and throwing the color so that it all kind of works. And there's a lot of different color in there, so getting a bigger brush. Oof. And you know what? It needs some more just bold color, because it's, so I'm going to go with some orange first, just because I know there are things you see in the picture and there are things that you know from being out there. And I know there's just some warmth in that grass. So I'm going to throw some orange there, there. Wow. So how's that for being just letting it all hang out? Throwing some orange there, and then I'm going to throw some green on top of that. That might be a little too dark. And you know what? It's a little too warm. The grass is cooler than that. This grass is. There. All right, so I just thought of something, and a good case or a good reason why I should stop and put the sand in first. And that's because when you paint white, it's easier to paint too much white and then go right up into it. But if I leave it, then I'm going to have I run the risks of going into the white, and then it's not going to be clean and you can't go over it. So I'm switching gears right in the middle, and in true, I forget who tweeted me and said that I have ADD when I'm painting. Maybe so, but there's really a logical reason for why I'm stopping here. It wasn't just, oh, that's pretty. So I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to go to the bunker, and then we'll come back. And do I paint things the same way every time? No. No, I don't. It keeps it fresh. All right, so how am I going to start the bunker? All right, Brian, you're probably waiting the whole show going, yeah, when's she going to do that? I'm going to start with the lip. And I'm going to pretty much just outline the very top part. So I'm getting purple because I really like purple. It's a nice dark. And let's see, they're right around here. And there's a little violet there. Where else do I see it? It's pretty much along these top little, the top side. I remember being a kid, my dad really loves to golf, and he said, you see very people paint bunkers correctly. They look stupid was basically. They look like they didn't mesh and they weren't harmonious with the painting. And I'm going to do this with purple, and it's still gonna come out harmonious. All right, so. The trick is just to look and see what does it do? Where's the shadow hitting? And I think it helps that I've spent a little bit of time in this one. Maybe a lot of time in this one. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to take just a little bit of blue, mix that together, and with my dirty purple brush, I'm going to bring that shadow down a little bit. It might also be a case of once I put that down, then I'm going to put in the light for the same reason that we don't want to lose that. All right, so I'm pretty much outlining those same spots. There really is a lot of color in the, I was going to say sand trap, in the bunker. Lots of color. All right. Now it's almost going to be like what I did with the sky, where I'm going to take the light and push that up to the dark. So how do I do that? I'm going to start with a warm color. Ooh, maybe a little bit of this that I've already mixed. A little more, just a tiny, tiny bit of Cad Yellow Deep and a bunch of white. Let's see how that works. I think I just need to squirt some more white out there. Running out of room on my palette. Clean room anyway. All right, I'm going to put the white down. Straight white first, and then into the mix. Starting at the bottom, right at the lip. You know, it's funny when I think about some of the earlier shows I've done, some of the other shows that I've done where I painted an entire canvas that was 60 by 48 in our hour show. And it's amazing. It depends on the subject what you can get done in a certain amount of time. All right, so I'm starting down at the bottom, pushing that back up. Got a little bit of purple where I didn't want it, and that's okay. I'll blend it in. A little right there. Okay, so I based it in. Got the bottom pretty much laid in, and now I'll blend it so that it doesn't just look like purple stripes. I'm going to wipe my brush a little bit. Somehow I picked up blue on my hand, and I don't want to add that to the painting. All right, so I'm going to just blend right here. and wipe. And it's that rhythm of blending and wiping so that it doesn't have a hard edge. Wow. All right, blend that some more. And what I'll do is just get this pretty much in, and then I'm going to put the grass, and then we'll add the finesse at the very end. The temptation is to overblend at this point, and I'm not going to, I'm showing restraint, really. Okay, so now I need a lighter green for up here. Do we have anything I like here? Not really. Nothing that I've already mixed. So I'm going to take some permanent green and some phthalo yellow green. Wow, this is over the top, neon bright, Rodney Dangerfield golf course green. Caddyshack green. Oh yeah. I like it. Let's put this thing down. Is the brush too big? Probably. Yes. Maybe not. Okay, it was a little bit dark. So I'm going to tone it down. And I also noticed that like right here, it's very light. And it gets darker as it dips toward the sand. So I'm going to get a smaller brush, add a little more detail. Because that's important to make this, you know, I really wanted you to see the climb here. And in order to see the climb of the hill, it's got to be darker here and lighter at the top. So I'm going to add some, there we go. Phthalo turquoise there. Down at the bottom, and then it's lighter at the top, and it looks like you've climbed out of that little hole there. And it's darker here. This brush is the right size. It's really too scruffy. I think I need some new brushes. So I'm switching. There we go. Need a little more control there than I had. So what did I just do? I grabbed a little bit of this darker green, a little bit of the cool green. We're still doing this little section here is dark. And then when you get up the hill, like where they meet is dark, and then when you get up the hill it's a little bit lighter. So I'll add that in. And I'm just going to mix that together. That's good. A little lighter over here as well. I'm being a little more gentle when I hit the lip, which is kind of good. You need to be aware of not breaking the, when you're actually out there. You need to be kind to the, even if the bunkers are not nice to you, you need to be kind to them. Turn the other cheek. Okay, so that's lighter, darker. You're getting the sense of movement. A little bit lighter here. I'm gonna mix it a little darker just because what's in the, it's gonna make a better painting if I make it a little darker on the edge, even though I don't see it. Okay, it's going to take a little more finesse, and then we're going to just rip on the bottom of this. You know it's coming. Okay, so it's a little darker right here where it meets. A little darker over here too. You know, they say, why do you paint so many golf paintings? And anybody that I know, you paint what you love. You paint what you are around. People write what they know. Same thing with a painting. Now, I don't know much, I don't know a lot about golf. I just like to play it. And I get inspired to paint when I'm out on the course. I mean, when I'm playing golf, I want to play golf, but it inspires me to do other things. All right, let's get this little bit of green in here. And merge these two areas. Okay, so I'm starting to stand back, see if that's working. I think it is. I'm so body blocking this, I don't know how you guys can see anything. Okay, there we go. Oh, I was painting left-handed. Did you see that? Okay, that's when you know you're totally in the zone, because you just, whatever it takes to get it done. That was fun. Okay, so now I need to whip out this bottom thing because we don't have that much time left in the show, and I need to get it done. So, you ready? It's like you need the William Tell overture. All right, so I'm going to just put this green right up to the lip. I'm going to grab some straight white in here. I want it to be a little more harmonious with the rest of the painting because it's very cool up there, and so you don't want warm down here and cool down there. You gotta get off the fence and decide whether the painting's going to be warm or cool. And I started off a little warmer than it was, but I changed my mind. Okay, so let's make this lip go. We are blocking this in as quickly as possible. Let's see, I lost a little bit of beach there. That's good. I'm being careful where I have to be so that I can really wail on this pretty quickly. In a minute. There. All right, so that's starting to take some shape. You're saying, good thing. We are almost done with the show. Okay, so let's push this up, and I think I'll lift that. And throw some more on the edge here, leaving some of that orange showing through. You're getting a sense of the hills and the movement. I lose a lot of balls there at that course. There's no out of bounds. It takes a lot of balls to play San Juan Oaks. It really does. Okay. They're going to get the hook pretty quick and pull me off of here. All right, so. All right, Brian, I hope this is helping you see. All right, we need a little bit dark down at the base because when you're at the bottom of the hill, it is. Pushing that up. Oops, got to get this covered. I'm lifting it, I'm stretching, I'm going as fast as I can. Get this thing done. All right. So what's the deal here? We pretty much got the canvas covered. Got a good sense of how the objective of the lesson was to get a bunker painted so that it doesn't look stupid. It's not done, but it doesn't look stupid. You get a good idea of the darks and the lights, and how did we achieve that? Basically by keeping the edges clean and by being consistent with the shadow. So just pay attention to what it does. But the biggest thing I'd like you to take away from this is to take risks. Go ahead and do it. And if somebody breaks your heart while you're painting, once you heal, go out and do what you want anyway. Thank you so much for watching Give Your Wall Some Soul. I'm Shannon Grissom.